compounds it, Steve, or if you like, brings it even more sharply to focus the problems there, that the two centre-backs were widely criticised at the weekend, and that's exactly the position that Jose Mourinho wanted strengthening.
100%. And we spoke off there, didn't we, earlier, about saying if the window is still open to the end of August, and they've seen that, and the reaction there from Edward Woodward, you know, what would have happened? Would they have gone out and splashed the cash and then just gone, right, we've seen it first hand now, we need 2 centre-halves? It's surprising that they're talking about centre-halves, because last year they had one of the best defensive records in the Premier League.
I think that's the point. Yes, you can lay blame at individual performances, and the individual performance of the players wasn't good enough on Sunday. But in terms of the team structure and their organisation, it wasn't there. When Brighton had the ball, they were wide apart. The holes in midfield, the back four was split apart. In terms of their defending as a unit, it just wasn't there. And when you don't defend as a unit, players then become isolated. And I saw the players defending 1v1 in isolation, people not tracking runners and covering for them. And then when you make mistakes as a defender, it's magnified and it's so clear to see. And that's why I think it's a worry. Yes, you can talk about signing individual players and centre-halves, but it wasn't just them that cost Manchester United the game. There was a lack of intensity from the front. There was a lack of quality. I think second half Manchester United had one shot on target. That's not a Manchester United team for me. And I think it's easy to point the finger blame at individuals, but I saw problems throughout that team structure.
And Brighton see that on the day as well. They could sniff blood, and they hunted the impacts, and you could sense it around the stadium that this was going to be a day for Brighton. And Liam's right there by saying there was no one that stood up to accountability for that. Even at 3-1, you're thinking you could see United coming back. You know, in the second half, you're thinking that you could see, you know, I think Gary Neville said last night, you could see United taking a seat, just coming back and winning it. There was nothing. There was nothing there at all.
Are you surprised, either of you, that, I mean, it's certainly not a vote of confidence, but word from within the club, as we understand, is, look, don't be ridiculous, we're not even contemplating a change of manager. But the fact that it's even been spoken about, does that tell you the magnitude of the problems as it looks to us from the outside?
Well, I think football now, everything's magnified. Everybody wants success now. We're speaking about Unai Emery at Arsenal, 2 games against 2 the strongest sides in the league, lose 2 games. Everyone's questioning his philosophy and way of doing things. I think that comes with the territory of being at a top football club when you don't reach the standards that are expected. But I was just shocked. I was really excited to see Paul Pogba this year, because I saw him at the World Cup for France play with that character. And, you know, I saw him tracking Marouane Fellaini in the box and marking him in the box and doing things that I hadn't seen him do at Manchester United. And I thought he matured at the World Cup. He was being unselfish. He was doing all of the things that people point the finger at him and say he doesn't do enough. You know, tracking runners, doing a horrible side of a midfield player's game. And then I saw him play on Sunday, and it was like he reverted back to the same Paul Pogba of last season. It was something sublime and then something ridiculous and nothing in between. And as a manager,
what do you put that down to?
Well, I think he needs to take responsibility for that himself. But I think there must be a player performs in terms of his environment, and if the environment's not right, then those things come to the fore. And there's something, because if I see Paul Pogba in that France team in the World Cup, he was outstanding in both sides of the game, offensively and defensively. But on Sunday, it was like he was a stroll in the park.
It's quite interesting, because after the interview, he was fairly candid, Paul Pogba, when he spoke to Patrick Davison, and he said, out there, that was not good enough. The attitude was not right, and I very much included myself. I think I started myself in that. Now, I think it was Paul Scholes who said he was horrified to hear that.
Yeah.
And otherwise, would you actually say, no, that's honest?
It's an honest and fair play for him to come out and say that, but to question your own attitude, you can come out and just say, it wasn't good enough on the day, starting with myself, but to come out and say, I question my attitude. I mean, you can't say that for a football player. You can't go out. When you step onto a pitch as a football player, you go out to win. You don't go out to step onto the pitch to try and play bad. So we all have bad games. That just don't happen. Yeah, we've had a few like that. But when you're having a bad game, when things don't come off, you still put effort in, you still run around, you still try and make an impact anyhow you can. But to come out and to question your own attitude and effort, it doesn't rub well with me.
Do you think the player as well doesn't help himself when he, in a mixed zone, says, now there's certain things I can answer, other things I'll get fined for? It's not going to help the situation, is it?
No.
Either come out and say something, or not, but to drop little bombs in like that.
Yeah. Well, there's no smoke without fire, is there? When things like that come out, I mean, there'd be no reason for him to say that if it wasn't true. It was quickly squashed, wasn't it, the week after by Jose in his pre-match press conference.
Yeah, but we haven't heard the player himself say, listen, everything's absolutely fine. I'm happy here.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think it's whether they've had a chat in his office and said this is how it has to be said in the media, because at the moment I wouldn't say Man United are a laughing stock, but they don't want it to get to that. You know, they look at from when they dominated English football under Fergie, and then they've had 2 appointments after that with Moyes and Van Gaal that didn't work well. They need stability. They need now, because the others are starting to lose ground on them by creeping away.
Yeah.
They need now to get back in.
We're speaking about Paul Popper as an individual, but if I look at Liverpool over the last 2 games, Manchester City over the last 2 games, even Arsenal over the last 2 games, you can see there's a method behind the way they're playing. You can see the way that they want to play. With Manchester United, I don't see a fundamental style of play. I see a team that are put together, that are wide apart when they don't have possession, that sometimes goes long to Lukaku, sometimes play out from the back. I don't know what they are at the moment as a team. I think it's easy to point a finger at individuals, when actually, if you look at the team structure at the moment, it's not anywhere near the level of...
Why is that then? Because obviously they're working Monday to Friday on tactics and structures of whoever they're playing, and then he's obviously relaying to them individually and collectively what he wants them to do.
Yeah.
So how can that not be coming out on the pitch?
I looked on the bench and I see Michael Carrick. I think he's going to be an outstanding coach. The way we see the player, there's McKenna there, who's going to be an outstanding young coach. I don't see Rui Faria. And I know how important not just the manager is, but the team behind him. And I wonder if that's a big factor. Obviously, you've worked with Jose. I've got huge respect for what he's done in his career. Outstanding achievements in his career. But when you lose that trusted lieutenant sat in the dugout, how much does that have an effect? Maybe he sees things that Jose doesn't see, and maybe the other coaches haven't picked up on. I think having that synergy and chemistry within your coaching staff has a massive effect on performance on the pitch.
You've played under Jose.
Yeah.
Now he's had this disappointing window. He made that very clear to us in his interview. He said, people like me should just be regarded as head coaches now. They don't do the buying and the selling. Clearly miffed at what had happened, not been backed in the way that he wanted. He doesn't have Rui Faria anymore either, for the first time in 17 years. How much will he, do you think, say, right, I'll take this challenge on, I will coach my way out of this. Can't buy because the window's shut.
Yeah.
Will he say, right, I can coach this lot out of this?
He'll definitely have the mentality to do it, 100%. This is probably the biggest question mark that he's had in his career, even ridiculously early on the stage in the season. Having worked with him and done a pre-season as well underneath him, the man that he is, I mean, even if there was a cone or a pole or a small sided goal that was out of place, the clipboard would be down, the arms would be up, he'd be onto his coaches, you know, why is it not? So if that's not right, if things like that, if he gets like that in small situations like that, then what is he behind the scenes with things that are upstairs? I know it's all part and parcel of management, and especially at a club like Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. But he'll take that challenge on full on. Now to say will he be able to coach these players and that, he'll just stick to his guns and stick to his tactics, and it'll be down to the players, because we're talking world class players.
Yeah.
To start stepping up and taking accountability.
Okay, you mentioned Michael Carrick. As we said, he retired at the end of last season, has now taken his place on the Manchester United bench alongside Jose Mourinho. What is it like for players who have retired? If you ever look at some of the players that retired this summer, they faced all sorts of challenges. And of the big names that retired this summer, there's a fairly, well, when you look at the list, Michael Carrick right at the top, Per Mertesacker, gone straight into work at the club. Leon Britton, fantastic service, he's given us the game. And Liam as well, you announced your retirement, and you are now taking down to 23s at Brighton. And a new name has been added to that list, which is indeed. So when was the decision made?
The decision was probably made at the back end of last season. It was a difficult season for me. If we'd have sat down and spoke this time last year, I was fully fit. I could have said I could have gone on another 2 or 3 years. Unfortunately, I had a back injury, and then I was just the rehab. Whether I was hitting it too aggressive or not, I just kept hitting a dead end throughout the season, and then I needed another surgery. So I said to myself, if I have to have another surgery, then I'll call it a day. For the sake of pinching another year or 2 years for the next 40, 50 years of being healthy with the family and kids, then that was the decision that I made. It wasn't an easy decision, I have to say.
Well, it's something you've done your whole life, 200 Premier League appearances, over 500